Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Music Fucking Mondays. How are you doing? Happy Monday. Let's fucking go, baby. How are we? This is episode 85. Um, Sort of a big episode, man. This is the first episode post Cyberfest. Um, yeah, like holy fuck. Cyberfest was absolutely a success. um let's talk about it. Let's really dive into this and we'll give some thoughts. Talk about Cyberfest, talk about the future of Music Mondays and what's next in 2022. Cole, what's good, baby? Welcome. I hope you're well. Happy Monday, my friend. Welcome on in. So man, where to start? So the event itself was fucking just a success in so many ways, but on the back end of things, first off, this was an extreme success, like an extreme success. Very minimal issues as far as technical problems go, as far as anything happening on the back end that was um sort of an issue. A lot of that stuff went extremely well, which if you consider um that Music Mondays was live for 10 hours and Cyberfest was 10 hours long, you could see how that's a huge deal. I mean, no problems for over 10 hours. That's insane. That's really really good. So as far as the technical aspect of things go, the live stream, the Discord literally went exceptional. Every artist really killed it. Everybody's sets were just insane, man. Like, this was something that I was talking about on the show for a long time, but didn't really get to speak on in detail until like episodes like 82 through like now. So yeah, man, Cyberfest is a success, truly a success. Like I said, every artist really killed it. Every artist was super easy to work with. Everybody was super supportive. Like, that was really the best thing about this, um, because it felt genuine. Um, it felt very proper. Because as many of you know, I've been around the space for quite a while. Since 2018, as far as really um being involved in the space and really working hands on with other artists and my art, other artists on platforms, as far as interviews, things like that go. There are so many things that really just felt right with Cyberfest. Cyberfest didn't feel forced. It didn't feel fake. It didn't feel anything like that. It was very wholesome and very underground oriented, and that's all I could really ask for as far as Cyberfest goes, man. As far as the stats go, the stats were really insane. We had like 30 people on the live stream pretty much the whole day. At least 50 plus different people in the Discord throughout the whole day. So if you total that up, that's at least 70 people throughout 10 hours, if not more. That's just sort of like a rough guesstimate. Which is just fucking amazing. You know what I mean? Like, that's more people that pack out like your pool halls and your local venues and shit like that. Like, there are people that genuinely rent out spaces to try to like fill that many people and don't get that far of a reach. So that's why things like Cyberfest are really crucial. You know, it proved that you don't really need something like COVID for Cyberfest to be successful. Especially for platforms like Music Mondays, where we're still in our growth stage. We're not in a in a spot where we can stand on our own 2 feet and really have a budget for bigger and like larger events. So we do what we can with what we have, and we really try to make Cyberfest as big as possible. And I think it went really well for what we had to work with. And every artist, like I said, was super easy to work with. Everybody was so supportive, and it just felt genuine, you know what I mean? And the turnout was great. Everybody got so much support, and the amount of love that every artist showed was just crazy. And the thing that stood out to me the most was the amount of people that came out and supported their favorite artist, right? Like they were like, oh, I'm gonna go see, you know, this person's set, I'm gonna go see X, Y, or Z. And that to me was really dope. Really fucking dope. Because like there'd just be certain people that just came through for certain sets, and I was like, damn, like that's some real like ride or die shit, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of like small things that I noticed that was really dope, and I was super happy with it, man. Super happy with it. And like I said, the numbers were great. But more importantly, the feeling of it all it was there. It felt like the real underground, you know. Michael Jones, welcome to the live stream, homie. Welcome. Happy Monday. Come on in, my friend. So that's what I mean, man. Like it was a success in so many ways, but the most important thing was it felt real. And like even for me, like on a personal level, you know, things like Cyberfest weren't really popular until COVID. Like you could find like online events here or there, but they didn't really get popularized until the pandemic, truly. And once the pandemic really got adjusted to people's lives and we really adjusted to the pandemic, people stopped really enjoying things like online events and virtual shows. But Cyberfest really once again proved that you don't need COVID to do things like that. Like you don't need to really have something so like damaging as COVID was, right? Because like if you were in the underground at the time, or you were even a musician at the time, like you know like how hard that hit everybody, you know? Like yeah, like things like streams and shit were like really good and all that other stuff, but like literally nobody could do shit. Like nobody could perform, nobody could travel, nobody could go to the studio. So like that's like so many people like really fucked over. You know what I mean? Like especially if you didn't have a home studio, or you know performing was like your main source of income, or merchandise was your main source of income. Like that sucked for a lot of musicians. And Cyberfest really was able to gloss over that and really make not people forget about that, but more so like just make a new memory over it, because you don't really want to associate that with like something so shitty as like the pandemic, right? So I'm glad Cyberfest was able to like prove that we can have a virtual event at the end of the summer and still make it work and like actually have a good time. You know what I mean? For so many reasons, but you know the main ones being that it was free and you could attend from the comfort of your own home or wherever your spot was at, right? So all in all, I couldn't be happier with how everything went. Truly. So what's next for Music Mondays? Well, obviously we're not going to exhaust the idea of Cyberfest, right? Like I think hosting these often would kind of kill the fun of them and really kill like the surprise factor, and make it feel less, you know, like once in a while. So with that said, I don't think we'll do another one this year. most likely not. Um, but as I'm planning for next year, there will definitely be a lot of things on the table as far as events like that go, and a lot of future stuff for Music Mondays. Um, Mostly it has to do with a little bit of planning and a little bit of structure as far as the Music Mondays back end goes. I gotta make sure that I got a solid team around me before we try to push the envelope with some of these ideas. Um, which is fine, you know what I mean? That's why I think things like Cyberfest can really test people's limits with, events and being organized and being cordial and things like that. It really helps you get a lot of reps, because things like Cyberfest, how often are you managing 30 set lists in one show? You know what I mean? It's very rare that that comes across even in live shows, because it's like, holy shit. So even I learned a lot. Uh, so very, very important stuff, and a lot of learning factors went into Cyberfest as well, and in regards to future events, So, one more event will be closing out the year, with Music Mondays. It really got announced at the end of Cyberfest. I spoke a little bit on it, but we'll be doing the Music Mondays Awards. So essentially, at the end of the year, Music Mondays Awards are going to be categorized in a few different ways. I'm not going to speak on categories right now, because nothing's really set in stone. So I'm not going to say something and then not have it. But just know that we're going to look at like 10 plus or so categories, as far as, things around Music Mondays. I spoke on this a little bit, but the end of the year awards is definitely going to be a thing. It'll definitely be a thing every year, especially considering we have the podcast, right? So we go through so much stuff here on the show that we'll be able to pick from, not just stuff on the show, but, articles and stuff we've reacted to and reviewed, and so many cool things. And that's really one event that is going to be super, super fun to host. So expect that sometime towards the end of the year, preferably before Christmas, but don't quote me on that. But yeah, that's what's up for Music Mondays and the rest of 2022, man. This is my absolute thank you to anybody that attended Cyberfest, performed at Cyberfest, had any involvement whatsoever. If you spectated, if you performed, like I said, had any sort of involvement in Cyberfest, thank you. And the Music Monday staff thanks you as well. It was a really, really fun fucking time. And as far as post Cyberfest coverage goes, expect the full event. All 10.5 hours will be available on our YouTube channel, as well as everybody's individual sets will be uploaded as well. So that's around 30 sets will be uploaded on our channel. If you want to go to your specific set and you want to share that, or you didn't want to upload your set but you wanted to kind of have an archive of it, we'll be uploading everybody's sets on the channel as well. But thank you. And Music Mondays, let's get it, Cole. You're very welcome, my friend. You're very welcome. You fucking killed it. You absolutely killed it, my friend. Huge shout out to all the artists, man. A lot of work was put into people's sets. A lot of work was put into Cyberfest itself, man. So I'm really happy that so many people were happy. The amount of people that messaged me personally and told me that this is what the underground needed, or this is, some of the most fun that they've had in a while from music, really meant a lot to me, especially for those of you that know how long I have been in this space. And sometimes I make it sound like it's like 10 fucking years or something, when in reality it's, I guess you could see a lot in like a shorter amount of time. So like if you consider like at the start of 2018, when I really started to get into digital media and management and independent art, along with making my own instrumentals and things like that, you know, I've seen a lot of people come and go. I've seen a lot of things, and you know, you could have looked at me like I was fucking crazy for starting something like Music Mondays. Truly, like especially in the beginning of 2021, like you truly could have looked at me like I was fucking nuts. But you know, Cyberfest proved that the underground is not dead. It really proved that the underground is well and alive, and there were a lot of people that were saying that shit. Like, let me speak on that. And if you did say it, I'm absolutely talking about you. You know what I'm saying? Like, for sure. Because that's bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, there are a lot of people who are in the underground space that were saying that, and I was like, why the fuck are you bringing that negative energy around creativity? You know what I mean? Like, why the fuck are you even being creative if you're gonna be negative like that? And I kept my faith. You know what I mean? Through thick and thin, I made sure that Music Mondays was gonna be the platform that I always meant to create, whether it was with, you know, X, Y, or Z platform. You know, UVC, 29 Club, so many great brands that I was affiliated with that really toppled over due to so many other circumstances. And you know, the dream of having a platform that really saw the light of day, that was able to help artists, was my goal, and that's still not achieved yet. And like I said, you could have looked at me like I was fucking nuts for starting Music Mondays. You know, you were like, oh yeah, that shit's fucking dead. You know, there's no underground, this, that, and the third. We had 30 plus motherfuckers at Cyberfest performing, and over 30 in the live stream, 50 in and out of the Discord all day. Bro, that just doesn't happen if the scene is dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially spectators. Like, you know how many people that were in and out of these places between Twitch and Discord that didn't even perform? Even other artists? So, don't bring that bullshit, and don't fucking believe that bullshit if you see it, because it's just simply not fucking true. Because if you give people a place to prosper, and you give people a place to bond and collaborate, shit like Cyberfest happens. So, all that fucking rah-rah, bro, suck my fucking dick. Like, that's bullshit. The underground is fucking here to stay. Especially if Music Mondays is around. That's for sure. So yeah, lots of cool stuff to close out the rest of the year. And like I said, a huge shout out to everybody involved in Cyberfest. Much more to come, man. Much more to come, for sure, for sure. And you guys know the drill. I mean, it's only September, so we have a bunch of other regular pieces of content coming through. The podcast will continue. SoundCloud Sunday will continue. Workshop Wednesday, Feature Friday, Dose of Daybreak, Underground Classics. Like, all of our playlists and pieces of content and written articles will still be coming through every single week for the latest underground motherfucking content, man. Like, you get it all with Music Mondays, bro. So truly, the train never stops. And I'm proud of everybody involved, and the future is bright, man. The future is fucking bright. So let's get back to weekly updates, and let's talk about what went down in the last week. Episode 84 of the Music Mondays podcast is available on all platforms and all audio websites. So if you listen to the Music Mondays podcast on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, things like that, make sure you go and run those up. Make sure you go check out episode 84 if you missed it. SoundCloud Sunday, volume 46 is also available on our SoundCloud. Make sure you go run that up as well. A super, super great edition of SoundCloud Sunday. And of course, we have a brand new YouTube upload where I talked about Cyberfest. We have a brand new article out on allmusicmondays.com about Cyberfest. And as far as post Cyberfest coverage goes, make sure you stay posted on any future articles and future reviews, because we'll be uploading sets and things like that, and we'll be uploading a whole lot of stuff on the YouTube channel. But more importantly, there'll be a detailed analysis of a Cyberfest breakdown, truly. Just for anybody that wasn't there and really needs to sort of more so understand how the event went, and get a recap of things. Oh, and a fucking highlight montage, because there were some great moments. Great motherfucking moments. Holy shit. Lots of good stuff coming. So expect that in the coming weeks. Expect a whole lot of post Cyberfest stuff, man. So, we have a decent amount of reviews, but there was one thing that I wanted to touch on before we got into reviews, and it was more so of a talking point that I didn't really get to speak on because we were so busy with Cyberfest and things like that. So make sure you grab a snack, grab a cig, go hit the gas, do whatever you gotta do, because we're gonna have a little conversation here as far as this next topic goes. Okay, so I'm in the studio right now, bro, chilling. Let's get it, baby. Let's get it. Recently there has been some interesting conversations going on Twitter. And usually you don't really need to take Twitter too serious, because it's filled with bullshit takes, right? People just kind of spew their opinions and sort of like and sort of like just talk shit, like, oh no, a shitty opinion on Twitter, like, who would have thought? So that's why I don't really address too many things on Twitter, you know what I mean? Because a lot of it's bullshit, and you have to consider the source as far as like some of that shit goes. Bananas, what's good, homie? Welcome. I hope you're well. Happy Monday, my friend. Come on in. So the topic of conversation that I saw on Twitter was people sort of bashing managers, music reviewers, and music curators on Twitter. And the reason why I bring this up here and on the podcast is, for one, I need to inform my audience of proper facts on topics like this. And you can only convey so many thoughts through text, because I spoke a little bit about this on Twitter, but I see things like people calling anybody not in the music scene that doesn't make music a leech. I see people saying that managers, music reviewers, and curators are leeches and they want to be artists. They're naive. Yeah, and it's not so much the words of choice here that are kind of disturbing to me. I think what's really disturbing to me is the source. When people have impressionable audiences and opinions like these sort of do numbers, and people are like, yeah, like, you're so right, it kind of rubs me the wrong way, because it's simply not true. Like Michael said, they're naive and don't understand the industry. And like, I almost feel like industry is a little bit of a soft term for it, or just like a bad term for it, because even in the underground space, like, there has to be some form of, like, you know, respect. And you're gonna find shitty people in all communities. Like, it doesn't matter if it's music, art, your day job, in a bar. Like, you're gonna find a bullshit ass people in any position. You know what I mean? Like, in any fucking position. Like, saying you have to make music to be in the music creative space is like saying you have to play sports to be a fucking sports analyst, bro. Like, that's just not fucking true. Because, like I said, I spoke a little bit, like, just a little bit about this, right? Not into great detail like I am now. So, when I say that, my experience with people that aren't creatives in the space, right? Take any of my past platforms that I worked for, and anytime somebody that joined the team, the group that wasn't a creative, about half of the time they were on bullshit. Like, they were like a college kid, they were like some person that just didn't have good intentions for the scene, and sort of like just wanted to be around shit, and more were so fans. And then there was the other side, and I could name names of people that aren't creatives but are very fucking passionate about this scene and have never fucked anybody over, and in fact have gotten fucked over a lot. So the hand goes both ways, and I don't think it's more so like a community problem. I think it's more so like a life problem. Like, that's just life. Like, people are just dog shit. So for anybody with like a decent following, like, you know, like, not even a decent following, like, if you're telling like your mutuals and you're telling the people that, you know, are around you that everybody in certain positions are leeches, they're gonna fucking believe you, and they're gonna be like, oh, okay, like, I better move accordingly, when in reality, like, the people saying these things have not been around for years. Like, and if they have, they haven't been exposed to anybody of real significance. Truly. And it bothers the fuck out of me that people, like, try to spit this out. You know what I mean? Because I have a platform that's filled with a staff full of artists that are creatives. So what the fuck do you have to say about my platform? Every single person on my fucking staff team is a creative. Producers, designers, vocalists, writers. So shit like that is like truly from a place of ignorance. And it's like, damn, like, you really have zero fucking idea what you're talking about. Because you, like, anybody with half a brain can't assume that every single person in these positions is malicious. Managers, curators, things like that. Bro, what? What? Some of these people in these positions would die for certain artists and have done so much work. Booking managers, promoters, so many people are so key to so many artists, bro. And even artists will tell you that. Even artists will tell you that. And like I said, don't get me wrong, there's fucking weirdos. But, like, to say that they're exclusive to, like, the music industry or the underground community, you're fucking delusional. Because you can go into any sort of business and any sort of space and find the same exact weirdos and leeches that people speak on. So to, like, broaden that perspective and try to, like, blanket everybody under that and, like, put everybody's, like, nah, like, what the fuck? Like, you can't put that jacket on everybody. You just can't put that on everybody. So don't fucking believe everything you see just because somebody makes good music and has a fucking dog shit opinion, bro. Like, like, it's the same thing as people making good music but being a shitty person. You know, just because you make good music doesn't give you that pass, and just because you make good music doesn't give you the pass to spit fucking bullshit to the people that look up to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's fucked up. And like, when it's shit that's just simply not true, it's like, what, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, come on, you know? You can't really take it serious. And if things like this weren't from such a credible source, then I wouldn't even be speaking on it right now. You know what I mean? Like, this wouldn't even be a conversation. But the fact that it was from a semi-credible source that people look to and really enjoy, you know what I mean? Like, doesn't mean that their opinion is like super fucking valid. Like, there are lots of people that make shitty music with fucking great opinions. And there are lots of people that make awesome fucking music with really, really ignorant and just bad opinions. So, at the end of the day, just know that music is a case-by-case basis. And the people you meet and surround yourself with don't reflect music as a whole. Like, it more so reflects you as a whole and who you surround yourself with. Because if you're surrounding yourself with fucking leeches and dirtbags, what the fuck does that say about you? And how are you gonna go blame music for that? You know what I'm saying? Like, that it just doesn't make any sense. Like I was not raised that way to like scapegoat shit, when in reality, like, you're the person to blame for letting yourself be surrounded by fucking weirdos. So there's like a whole other problem underneath all that we don't have time to discuss, but that's all I wanted to speak on, man. Make decisions for yourself, and if you want somebody's advice, make sure that they're credible. You know what I mean? Like, Music Mondays is 85 episodes deep, and never once have we given anybody advice that I wouldn't fucking give my brother, my son, bro. I don't even have either of those things, and I would tell them the same shit that I tell the show, the chat, my friends, my staff, my artists. Like, I don't steer people in the wrong direction, and you can never pull that card on me as long as I've been around in this space. You can ask around. Ask around. 80 plus articles, and I've never fucking made a dime off anybody. So go ahead and ask around. Like, that's the shit with that, is like, people have one fucking weird experience in life, and they're like, damn, that whole shit's fucked up. Fuck the industry. And it's like, bro, like, are you fucking high? Like, what are you smoking? Because let me hit that. You know? Like, fuck out of here, bro. So, nah, man. Learn shit for yourself. And if you're looking for help or information, go to sources that know what they're talking about. You know what I mean? Like, you can pull my resume and see how long I've been in this space and see who I've interviewed. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know all these things for nothing. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't pull these fucking experiences and quotes out of my ass. This is all from genuine hard fucking work. So, like, I'll be damned if I see some bullshit on Twitter with somebody from, like, a decent following spitting bullshit and not speak on it. Especially when it's about my space. Like, fuck out of here. I don't fuck with that. So that's that on that, my friends. You know, put yourselves first. Don't worry about the other bullshit, you know? And if you meet a shitty person, steer clear of them. It has nothing to do with fucking music or this and a third. So what? Everybody meets a piece of shit once in a while, you know what I mean? So move them out your life. That's it, you know? So yeah, that's that on that. Kind of an interesting topic. More so, like I said, it wouldn't really even be a conversation if it wasn't, you know, from somebody that was at least semi-credible, but, you know, it is what it is. People, you know, sometimes just have talking points that need to be addressed. So, back on track. We're live with episode 85, and we have a bit of submissions to go through. So, you guys know the drill. Let's talk a little bit about submissions. How do I submit to the Music Mondays podcast? People want to know. Sometimes people have zero idea. If you've ever watched a podcast episode, you probably know. But if this is your first time in a Music Mondays episode, every Tuesday following the show, which always airs and is live on a Monday, tweets will go live, and they're always in the same format, and they read artists and creatives, Submissions are open for live reviews on Music Mondays, live on 9/5/22 at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, twitch.tv/SonPlays, which is here and now. If you'd like to submit your music, artwork, fashion, or digital creations, drop your links and portfolios below. All art forms are welcome. So, contrary to popular belief, Music Mondays not only reviews music, but we review instrumentals, merchandise, fashion, digital art, digital creations. We've reviewed pretty much everything here on the show. YouTube edits, visuals, everything you can think of, truly. So if you're an independent creative and you think that you deserve some spotlight and you want your art reacted to on the Music Mondays podcast, feel free to submit. Submissions are open for the majority of the week, and they'll close on the day of the podcast every Monday. So, per usual, the only thing that we ask is that you're following Music Mondays on Twitter to be eligible. The reason for this is that we do not charge for submissions and never will charge for anything that we do as far as interviews, placements, playlists, or reviews go. We'll never charge for these sorts of things. If you are ever interested in supporting the Music Mondays podcast, feel free to subscribe to this channel, stream us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, things like that. I believe there's a donation button on there as well. So feel free to support us in those ways, because we'll never charge for submissions or anything like that. So in exchange, the only thing that we do ask is that you're following All Music Mondays on Twitter. For one, to give respect to everybody that does submit to the Music Mondays podcast and does wait every week, and to help grow the platform and help find other artists that are interested in the show. And some people ask, why Twitter? I only have Instagram or this, that, and the third. I spoke on this a little bit a couple of weeks ago. Artists not having certain social medias and things like that. Twitter is the easiest platform for things like this, to be able to curate a bunch of links in one spot. You know what I mean? I don't have to open up new tabs, Google Drives, this, that, and the third. Like, if you want to drop it, just drop it all under here, and it's all going to be in the same place. You know what I mean? It helps keep the show very free flow. So with that said, let's get into it. That's pretty much it. Make sure you're following All Music Mondays on Twitter. And the submissions close every Monday. Submissions open Tuesday. Okay. First things first. We got the homie Thomas Marcus, man. Thomas is a very, very talented producer. I believe based out of France. Another producer, much like Absono, Kale, myself, a few others, Michael Jones, ones that really take being a producer very serious, treat themselves like an artist, and really go above and beyond for their instrumentals, and really prove that you don't need to be a vocalist to be an artist. And I really love producers that do that, you know what I mean, and don't just care about, placements, and, our type beat producers, and, things like that are fine to a certain degree, but, there's more to being a producer than that, and I like seeing producers that really care about their platform. And Thomas Marcus is definitely in that group. So this week they submitted a track titled Random Flirt. Let's pop this open in a new tab of Rooney and check this shit out. This looks like a 3D model, no? I like it. And of course you got the standard Thomas Marcus logo. Definitely fire. Lots of tags. Lo-fi. Okay, yep. I kind of have a feeling what we're gonna get here, but let's check it out. What a fucking banger. That was great. I fucking really like the drums on that. That was great. Big donut vibes. Let's go, Cole. You guys know the motherfucking drill. Let's break this down. And of course, no vocals. So we're gonna talk about two things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of Random Flirt. So right off rip, this mix is really, really solid. Of course, I always listen with headphones and things like that, but this mix for what these drums are is super solid. I love how wide it is. The drums really knock, and the sound selection was great. So it made for a really consistent mix. I'm not gonna lie. I suppose, yeah, like for the most part, you can always expect that from Thomas. To be real, um, Thomas always has a really all around solid mix, especially on some of their more recent track. This one came out about 8 days ago, so yeah, the mixing as of lately has been on par for sure. So the mix is solid. Sound selection was great, but I think, like I said, the shining star for me, it's got to be the drums, man. The drums were great. Just the sound selection, it surprised me a little. It definitely has that little bit of like lo-fi mix with like a really solid, like softer, punchy kind of 808. You know what I mean? It kind of has that like middle ground, and I just feel like this sound selection was really, really solid this time around. And per usual, you have the really great riffs by Thomas, because that's one thing you can always expect. Again, much like a solid mix, is solid guitars. The guitars are always on point when it comes to Thomas Marcus, for sure. And like I said, this is a producer that really has done a great job establishing themselves, and really making something like their riffs and their melodies stand out, and something that you can always associate Thomas with. So Random Flirt is definitely a great single by Thomas Marcus, as far as being like one of those songs that you show people if they've never heard your music before. This is a great example of it. Now let's talk about the theme here. Aesthetically, like I said, this is great. Sort of like on the 3D model kind of wave, or just just not only the color palette, but like the aesthetic of it is just A1. Like it's just A fucking one. Um and like I said at the start, you always get the Thomas Marcus watermark, which is always a plus. Something that you can really get standard. And if you see it, you're like, okay. You know what I mean? You're like, all right, bet. So aesthetically great. Awesome. Simple, minimalistic, and I really like the color palette. Now, the track itself, Random Flirt, definitely is more so on the like R&B kind of alternative trap vibes. So I could definitely see the Random Flirt title really fitting with this. Um, because of course going into it, you don't really, can't really make too much expectations, based on the title, but I'd say the title absolutely fits. Definitely has that laid back kind of, alternative trap R&B vibe going on. So well done. Well done. And per usual, huge shout out to Thomas Marcus. Make sure you follow them on SoundCloud. They are 3 away from 160. That is a really, really good milestone. And make sure you follow Thomas Marcus on Twitter at ThomasMarcus075. 4 away from 20 followers. Go show Thomas some love, man. Super talented producer. If you're looking to work with somebody new, go check out Thomas. Up next, we got the homie Matt Rocks, who recently performed a set at Cyberfest, which was absolutely fucking nuts. Um, Matt absolutely went crazy, man. Matt absolutely went fucking crazy. Release shit, unreleased shit. We got a whole mix. But if you don't know who Matt is, you will after this for sure. Um, Absolutely one hell of an artist and super, super fucking talented. This week, Matt submitted a track titled Salmon Cat, Matt Rock's remix. So, we're about to get some special shit right here. I believed it's unreleased. Let's check it out. Nah, 10 days ago. We got some brand new. Let's go. Let's go. Matt Rocks, Sam and Cat, Matt Rocks, a remix. Matt Rocks and Road Rage, Sam and Cat. Cover is hard as fuck too. That cover is super tough. Yeah, that's really tough, man.
I've been getting cash and getting bands. Yeah, rockstar never needed no band. Yeah, trouble in my hand. Drop 'em like some ham. Yeah, on the beat, you know I'm going ham. 30 minutes special, I'm not talking 7. I just made it easy for you to understand what Sam I am. They call me red, they call me crazy, but I do not give a damn. When my bitch ride, she need a pink slip. Spend all free time with me like it's recess. Yeah, but look at my bitch, she flawless. Look at my bitch, she gorgeous. I told her to sing the chorus. Money all over the floor, pills all over the floor, bodies all over the floor. Yeah, rocking go for the floor. Yeah, my music and my voice, that's what she adore. And she love me cause I'll blast thugger than the Doors. Yeah, I've been getting cash and getting bands. Yeah, rockstar never needed no band. Yeah, trouble in my hand. Drop 'em like some ham. Yeah, on the beat, you know I'm going ham. 30 minutes special, I'm not talking 7. I just made it easy for you to understand what Sam I am. They call me red, they call me crazy, but I do not give a damn. Like a damn. Yeah, you know I'm the man. I'm getting cash, boy, I have a band. Rockstar status, keep it automatic. Run up, let's have it, cause I'm savage.
The outro is tough, man. The outro is really fucking tough. I fuck with that a lot. Got off work and we bumping Matt. God is good. What's good? King Mark Music. Welcome to Music Mondays, my friend. Come on in. I hope you're well. So, let's get into this, man. This is a great laid back track. I'm not gonna lie to you. Matt was on his swag shit on this track. I like this a lot. So let's break this down. We're gonna talk about 3 things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals. Talk about the overall theme of Sam and Cat. So instrumentally, it's got enough brightness and it's got enough grit to be the perfect Matt Rocks instrumental. It's just soft enough and a little bit happy enough to just kind of like be a little bop, and then the drums really take it to that next step of like kind of adding a little spice to this. So instrumentally, this is a great instrumental for Matt. The mix itself is great, nothing clashing too overbearing, but you can always expect that with a Matt Rocks track. So instrumental is great. Perfect for Matt. I love the laid back vibes going on here. I love the mashup of drums and the really like chilled out melody going on here. Almost a little bit of a lo-fi vibe. I like it. So let's talk about vocals. Now, Matt's an interesting artist. You're not gonna get varying mixes from Matt too often. Um, well, mixes that vary greatly, but this mix in particular, I feel like really brought out Matt's chill side and really was able to show like the steez and like have like a little bit of swag out of Matt. You know what I mean? Like you can like, okay, like you're like, damn. So I love the mix on the vocals. The mix has a little bit of attitude in it as well, but Matt's always been really solid at recording. And you know, another thing that really complements that is the flows and cadences. You know, you can really just catch the attitude in Matt in this. You can really just catch the swag. You know, it's a lot of like kind of like pop star, rock star vibes going on in here. But instrumentally, you can get down with like a little bit of like alternative kind of trap. You know, it's like, okay, damn, like, so that's what makes me say Matt's really on his swag shit on this. So I fuck with this a lot. The writing's really solid too. Definitely a lot of visualized writing in this. Made me visualize a lot. You know, Matt's a really solid writer when it comes to emotion and things like that. But this is one of those tracks that really made me visualize what Matt was trying to say a lot as well. So writing was A1 too. Now, let's talk a little bit about the theme of Sam and Cat here. Now, aesthetically, like I said, the cover is fucking great. I'm a huge analog guy. I'm a huge analog guy. I'm a sucker for analog. Color palette's great. The font is fucking great. This is a 10 out of 10 cover from me. Something I would use personally if I was releasing a track. 100%. Now, Sam and Cat, you know, one of those tracks that's filled with like bars that a lot of people could relate to. Like the writing is A1 on this, and I feel like this is almost an you know, what are those examples of like really good Matt Rock's writing and not one of those cases of like a consistent theme? Like the hook is very easy to visualize, but I feel like for the most part, this is more so a great ode to Matt's writing and Matt's style and flows and cadences as an artist. Sam and Cat really brought that out instrumentally and vocally for him. So I really enjoy this track for what it is. It's really like a great example of Matt's like single material and like alternative styles that Matt can touch on. But big pop star rock star vibes on this, and I like it a lot. Lots of attitude. So with that said, huge shout out to Matt Rocks. Thank you for this submission, homie. Much motherfucking love. Make sure you go follow Matt Rocks on SoundCloud. They are approaching 1.7K. Go show Matt some love, man. Go show Matt some love. Lots of bangers on there. Lots of motherfucking bangers on there. And of course, make sure you follow Matt Rocks on Twitter at Matt Rocks. 10 away from 620 followers. Go show Matt some love, man. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in a description of the YouTube re-upload. And make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. We are on the road to 70 subscribers. Huge shout out to anybody that has already subscribed. We upload about 2 times a week, exclusive podcast segments, exclusive tracks, full podcast episodes, whole lot of good stuff is going down on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. So make sure you go show us some love. Make sure you go show these artists some love, man. Kale, what's good, baby? Welcome on in. Happy Monday. I hope you're well, my friend. You just killed the Sammy. R.I.P. Sammy. Gone but not forgotten. We're gonna have to light one up for Sammy, man. That's some bullshit. Alright, chat. Let's get back into this, man. Let's get back into this. So up next we got the homie Bloodcat. The submissions from Bloodcat recently have been A1. Bloodcat is not only a super talented artist, but truly is one of the most visually creative artists we've seen, whether it comes from their covers, their visuals, their media. Bloodcat is very artistic and creative. But this week they submitted a track titled French Toast. Let's check this out. Of course, per usual, we're gonna pop this open in a new motherfucking tab or Rooney. French Toast. French Toast is such a good song. Steak, corn, double baked potato. Yeah, fuck. Alright. Oh shit. And we got some lyrics in the descripy. You guys know the drill. Bloodcat's been really on that recently, which is awesome. Okay, let's do this. This whole album has to be one of my favorites released this year by anyone. Damn, that's good gas. That's good gas by King Mark in the chat right there. That's some good gas. All right then. So let's get it. Bloodcat French Toast. Let's hear it.
Walking out the store and buying and everything I want. Got her needs and wants, and I don't even front. She call her friend, and I take 3 at once. And when I'm sad, I talk to hoes that I ain't even want. It's 2 p.m. and I'm already kinda slumped. My baby mama praying for a baby bump. Cases in the trunk, yeah. Go ahead, take what you want. Go ahead, babe, roll the blunt. Yeah, I taught her how to step and then I taught her how to stunt. Got her out of breath 'cause she ain't seen me in a month. BK, don't do it, I'll do it. Got 3 racks in the biz on bullet. That bitch, yeah, she ran through. And I don't want the ones ran through it. Ooh, my asked me what I've been doing. Ooh, ran through the back, she knew it. Ooh, changing up the game, I knew it. Ooh, but it's all kinda blurry in the moment. Stop praying, but I catch still helping. Ooh, baby, that's the front door, I keep it open. Ooh, wait another day, I gotta show it. Ooh, wait another day, make them know it. Ooh. She wanna fuck me to my songs, I'm saying, oh yeah. They ask me when I'm dropping songs, I'm saying, oh yeah. Left my ex in court 'cause that's my court and bitch, we ball here. See you next week, little broke ass.
That was hard. What the fuck?
All here, see it all clear. I'm posted in the future, make a Spider-Man 4. You brought a 4-pack of woods, but I smoke 5 of them whores. Pulled up in the coupe and then I got me a horse. Me and your daughter in the news because I got a divorce. Snow bunny, baby, stick to the course. No money, but you bought you a Porsche. How you got 2 houses, only got 1 porch. And I got like 30 bitches, but they all make me bored. And I can talk to bitches, wish they never been born. 'Cause I need me a baby who don't mean no harm. I believe in all my visions, so I tatted my arm. I'm in the kitchen doing dishes, was you raised in a barn? I try to do 'em right, I put the noble in
What the
barn. But all these
fuck?
fake ass broke niggas making it hard. Bitch, I'm playing my cards. I got the ace of the star. How you finna hate me when I pay for your car? I hope the haters always hate because that means I'm a star. She wanna bang, I told her bang, not in the back of the car. I don't pay for anything, I put that shit on your card. Fraudulent bars, I call my shot and now I'm shooting it far. Babe, I think you pretty when you falling apart. It's my day, it's my city, that's my plane, that's my car. I'm finally making money, so I'm raising the bar. I don't leave my house unless I'm stacking up the Balenciaga blocks. I got it backing up the backing up the back. She call me once, I call her back like why you had my number.
That little 16 be the craziest version. Nah, for real. That was what I was about to say. That damn, bruh. And of course you got the engineer on Cole. Let's get it, baby. I love the writing in this, man. The writing. Fuck. Okay, so let's break this down. We're gonna talk about 3 things here. We're talk about the instrumental. We'll talk about vocals. We're gonna talk about the overall theme of motherfucking French Toast, man. So, instrumentally, 98, 99 really killed it. This is one of those instrumentals that really utilize the fuck out of that vocal sample. Jesus, man. Jesus, like that vocal sample is so well used, and I have to tip the structure in this too. Like, such a simple beat, but like everything done in this is so crucial. Like, it's so fucking, like, bro, the sound selection, the structure, and the vocal chops, and just every single sound used in this is really fucking awesome. Really awesome. So, this producer really fucking killed it, and I like this choice by Bloodcat. This is a very minimalistic, but such a hard choice. I love beats like this. Love them. So, instrumentally, it's great. Let's talk vocals now. You got the standard Bloodcat mix, you know, you can really get a nice, crisp Bloodcat sound. You're gonna hear this and you'll be like, okay, this is some Bloodcat. Or if you never heard this and you'll be like, damn, this mix solid. So, mix, great, no surprise. But what really is a shining star for me, along with the flows, I feel like the flows and the cadences during this are fucking awesome. lots of attitude, lots of swag, much like the previous track. But the writing, the fucking writing is just like really well done. Like really well done. Cause it's not like simple punchlines. They're like really creative punchlines. Um I like that's why I love these lyrics in description for one, and for two, um just going over it again, it's like damn, this is some good writing. Like some real visualized like standard like Bloodcat writing. But I feel like combined with the instrumental, it kind of brings it to like a whole new vibe. Because like Bloodcat's always been a really excellent writer, especially when it comes to hooks. But I feel like this instrumental combined with this writing brings us to just a whole new level, man. Truly. So writing 1000% is the shining star for me as far as vocals go. Um, I've heard 2 tracks on this so far. Um, of course, as far as the podcast goes, and Jesus Christ, um, both tracks are insane. This is extremely well done. French Toast might be my favorite so far. So let's talk about the theme of French Toast here. Aesthetically, Catanova, I spoke on the cover last week or the week before, but the minimalist approach of this is really excellent. Bloodcat's really known for their really superior media, like their visuals, their cover art, their designs, everything involving a Bloodcat media is always so well done, and Catanova is definitely in that category for me. Um, so aesthetically, this is amazing still. Now, French Toast is one of those tracks where you have like the name French Toast, right? And then you get a track like this that's filled with like creative punchlines and some like real swag for just like cadences, man. It's like damn. So I feel like French Toast is like one of those highlight tracks that you talk about on an album because it's called French Toast and it's such a fucking banger. And I love that for this. And it's tagged hip hop and rap, and it's really on that more alternative side. I love that Bloodcat is really blending like creative writing, but like really having this like alternative R&B side to him that is also very hard. You know what I mean? And shout out this prod once again because the structure was just perfect for what Bloodcat did with it. So all in all, this track's awesome. I have to agree with Mark. This is absolutely a banger. Much fucking love to Bloodcat. Make sure you go follow Bloodcat on SoundCloud. Very close to 1.3K. Go show him some love, man. And of course, make sure you follow Little Skunky Raps, Bloodcat's alternative account on Twitter, 6 away from 50 followers. Go show him some love, man. And per usual, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 70 subscribers, man. We're on our way. So go sub if you haven't already. And if you have, thank you very much. We upload 2 times a week, full podcast episodes, exclusive tracks, exclusive segments, whole lot of good stuff going on the channel. Go show that some love and go show these artists some love. Whew. Let's go, chat. How we doing, man, on this fine Monday night? How we doing? And I know I saw that message earlier. Cole really is behind like so many Music Mondays tracks, especially some other tracks that I know will be coming out. Cole's really doing an excellent job collaborating with everybody. Even if it's not on vocals, I feel like Cole's really doing an awesome job when it comes to that, man. So keep it up, Cole. Truly. So we got like 4 or 5 left, and we got a first time submitting artist as well. But we have been live for an hour and a half, so we're about halfway through the show. I'm going to take a leak. I want you guys to get up, stretch, go get yourself a drink, do all that good stuff, and then Music Mondays episode 85 will be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Music Mondays podcast. Hope you're well. Hope you're chilling. How are we, man? How the fuck are we? So, let's get right back into this, man. Money Goons Music, otherwise known as Spendo and C-Dub. Now, a little backstory on Spendo here, man. So, Spendo was an artist that I reviewed back in like the very early episodes of Music Mondays, man. Like episode 30, I'm talking. Like, because I think I was on TikTok. I was uploading some shit on Music Mondays, and I saw Spendo's TikTok of the Music Mondays review. I think one of the last ones we did. Not one of the last ones, but one of the early ones, I mean. And holy shit, that was a throwback. So Spendo's been around for a fucking while, but Spendo's a California-based artist. Makes a lot of classical sort of styled hip hop, but more of like a modern spin on it. Spendo does an excellent job, really bringing that West Coast vibe. So he submitted a track titled "Grind All Night" from the newly released album "Professional Mobbing," available on all music platforms and CD. And we also have a press release here. Yeah, we got the doc, we got the website. Yeah, no, they got like, I got a whole bunch of shit. Holy fuck. Okay, that's what's up. No, that's good. Like, bro, I remember that was like one of the first things I would not critique, but I'd react to, and there were some artists that didn't even have any link trees or anything like that, um, for certain releases or on their profile or things like that. So Spendo's definitely always one of just one of those artists that is really always done that, and definitely something that's very very tippable for sure. So Grind All Night, Spendo and C-Dub. Let's check this out. Here it is. No. 438. This is about to be a bop. I know it's about to be a bop, man. For sure. Spendo, C-Dub, I just want to fly. Damn. Dude, I just knew it, bro.
Nowhere to go. Until you get that bag. Once you set, you never look back. This is only temporary. Same for the long run.
I just wanna fly, spread my wings and fly away. I'm here and I'ma live, I die another day. No rewind, just play. We gon' learn from our mistakes. I'm from the ground up and I ain't never with the fake. I ain't never with the fake. I'm still here, still riding. Arm out the window, burning rubber off them tires. So hot, I'm on fire. Cartier fresh linen. Them seats made from ostrich powder, coated rims spinning. I'm struggling till I'm winning. This is just a small gain. I got the mind of a hustler embedded in my brain. And yeah, I like the finer things. Please believe it's well deserved. I know you haters been sour, spoil your milk and you curd. Keep it quiet, man. My word is everything. Get the message. No need to play tough. I eat my kale and my spinach. I want to take trips to Venice. Eat food I can't pronounce. I really don't smoke, but them Cubans real loud. I just wanna fly, spread my wings and fly away. I'm here and I'ma live. I die another day. No rewind, just play. We gon' learn from our mistakes. I'm from the ground up and I ain't never with the fake. Cubans real loud, I got a thing for Annalisa. That marinara sauce on the pasta got me eating. In the kitchen, she was seasoned. Baby, pour a little Prosecco. Her family locked in, so she good with the metal. My foot's to the pedal, that Bugatti so foreign. Urban life near the beach, Santa Cruz, never boring. Yeah, some stories, but you would never get it. I'm from that other era,
it's very few that's still with it. Please believe I'm here to get it. Spin rich to the death of me. I put my faith in God, but still watching for my enemies. Pretend to be friend of me, like Rico paid in full. It's nothing, you can get it. I go deep as ocean floors. The whales and the sharks, read the signs, proceed with caution. I've been swam alone, talking shop with the bosses. Yeah, I paid the cost, now I'm wanting my return. And when I get it back, then the underworld is yours. I just wanna fly, spread my wings and fly away. I'm here and I'ma live, I die another day. No rewind, just play. We gon' learn from our mistakes. I'm from the ground up, but I ain't never with the fake. I just wanna fly, spread my wings and fly away. I'm here and I'ma live, I die another day. No rewind, just play. We gon' learn from our mistakes. I'm from the ground up, but I ain't never with the fake. I've been on the clock, my cash never sleeps. I got people that I love, take care of time to eat. We all been in the street, we all struggle trying to profit. Why I talk about this dope, that Lambo in the ostrich. Been rich, I've been a porter. We running man collectively, always on the go. The end zone is all we ever see. It's the west to the death of me. I just want you all to feel it. I'm knowing that my ways and my vision's been distorted. Is he from the cruise? Sound like he from somewhere else. I had to leave my home and play the chords that I was dealt. Yeah, they try to shelf me, keep me out the frame. That mind of a hustler been embedded in my brain. That watch and the chain, yeah, it's cool, but I'm seasoned. I want the real estate in Monroe Bay on the weekends. Let it all sink in, just know I stay focused. I'm here and I'm winning, give me the cash and I'm ghosting. I just wanna fly, spread my wings and fly away. I'm here and I'ma live, I die another day. No rewind, just play. We gon' learn from our mistakes. I'm from the ground up, but I ain't never with the fake. I just wanna fly, spread my wings and fly away. I'm here and I'ma live, I die another day. No rewind, just play. We gon' learn from our mistakes. I'm from the ground up, but I ain't never with the fake.
That was tough as shit. You know, I really, really love that instrumental. That instrumental is such a vibe. Alright. So we're gonna break this down. We're gonna talk about 3 things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals. We're gonna talk about the overall theme of I Just Wanna Fly. So, like I said, man, I'm a huge fan of this instrumental. The melody's super ghost-like and very, like, ethereal. It's got this, like, almost, like, classic mixed with, like, modern vibe. I love the sound selection on it for sure. Drums were great. Super simple. Nothing, like, super crazy. And kept that real, like, West Coast slower vibe that Spendo really excels on. So I feel like this instrumental was perfect as far as, really capturing the best of Spendo. So I like this choice a lot. A huge shout out to this producer. This was absolutely awesome. Now, let's talk about vocals here because Spendo is really a veteran, you know? Really in the aspect that this song is 4 minutes and 38 seconds and Spendo really wrote their fucking ass off. You know what I mean? Like each verse was really, really fucking good. And each verse kept getting better. And that's really something you could notice the better the writing. So, you know, for example, Spendo started off sort of standard and then kept heating up each verse. And one thing that I sort of got reminded from this through vocals was Spendo's ability to write insanely good hooks. Every single track that I've reviewed from Spendo, because they've all been so far in between each other that I don't really get to pick up on patterns. But one thing that I just realized is that Spendo is really, really fucking good at writing hooks. But not only just writing them, performing them in the way that Spendo's a little bit like melodic to it and really just like keeps that like real core West Coast sound, and I think they did a really really good job when it comes to the hook. But I'd say the last verse was definitely the most impactful when it comes to leaving this track on like a high note. I think Spendo definitely did that. Um, you know, talking about the theme for a second here, aesthetically, Spendo really has this knack for like these extraordinary covers that just do so well when it comes to like keeping the fancy vibe up and also like making sure that everybody really understands the vision of a track like I Just Want to Fly. But, more underneath it, other than the aesthetics, the theme of I Just Want to Fly, Bendo touches on a couple different things, you know what I mean? Escaping, getting rich and escaping. Like he talks about getting the bag and just ghosting. Like there are so many really good bars that expands on the idea of flying, escaping, just wanting to get away. And I think this track is really deeper than, you know, a first time listener would really like to admit. Because you could listen to this song, a couple different times, and each time you pick up on new metaphors, new bars. So it's just that good in terms of writing, truly. So I feel like I Just Want to Fly has a really good theme behind it as well. So another great release by Spendo that we got to react to on the Music Mondays podcast. And of course, per usual, make sure you follow Spendo on Spotify at Spendo, or follow Money Goons Music on Twitter at Money Goons Music. Go show them some love, man. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We are approaching 70 subscribers. Huge shout out to anybody that already has. We upload 2 times a week. Exclusive uploads, exclusive tracks, full podcast episodes, a whole lot of good stuff on the channel, man. Go show the channel and these artists some love. So, up next we got the homie Cole Girard, of course. Another artist that performed recently at Cyberfest, and another artist like we were just talking about having this expansive engineer library now. Cole has just been doing such a good job when it comes to engineering and mixing and really putting in work for their own tracks as well. So Cole's really one of those artists that I always have fun reacting to and seeing what they're up to. So this week, Cole submitted a track titled Wishing Well, Prod Mall Disney, dropping on SoundCloud Tuesday or Wednesday and all platforms Friday the 9th. Okay. So we got some exclusive unreleased Cole Girard here for the Music Mondays podcast. Let's check this out. So we're going to pop it open in a new Tambourine per usual. This art is fucking gas. Like, this reminds me of some, like, real classic underground shit. I love this cover choice. The palette's great. And I always think that fire and like different colors go extremely well. Super simple, really effective. Definite huge fan of that cover. 12 hours ago. So this is hot off the press right here. This is some exclusive shit. Mark said, "Oh shit, yeah. We about to get the treatment, man." Exclusive, unreleased Cole Girard, Wishing Well, Prod Mall Disney. Let's get into it, motherfuckers. 3, 2, 1, let's go. It's about to be crazy.
Straight shots of porcelain skin, coin toss, fuck around, it's your loss. Found to the wishing well, bitch, I wish you well. Seeing strengths, looking glass, see it put me down a long time. Damn, I mean long time. Sipping on some bucket like it's water, and I wonder why I'm fucked up. Same thing, grab the cover up. I've been wishing, made me feel so low. I ain't catching feelings, why girls so bad when they be leaving.
What?
shot, sells porcelain, my skin torn toss. Fuck around, it's your loss. Bound to the wishing well, bitch, I wish you well. Seeing strength to it, looking glassy, it put me down a long time. They don't let me long time. Sipping on some vodka like it's water, and I wonder why I'm fucked up. Same thing, rather cover up. I've been watching and it feels so lovely. I didn't catch you. I've been working real hard, honestly. Never been no good shit's haunting me. Kill the mix kills me softly. Barry, I've been working real hard, honestly. Never been no good shit's haunting me. Kill the mix kills me softly. Buried 6 feet deep, mud breathe. Kill the mix kills me softly. 6 feet deep, mud breathe. Kill the mix kills me softly.
What the fuck, dude? Hold the phone, man. Hold the phone. Look, hold on. I don't know what I was expecting, but it definitely wasn't that. I am shook. Alright, we're sipping some coffee and we're breaking this down. Man. So, we're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're talking about vocals. Talk about the overall theme of Wishing Well. I love Cole on this type of instrumental. This is definitely on some alternative rock, alternative pop kind of shit, and I'm loving it. I'm here for this. I'm definitely here for this. This is the kind of sound that I feel like people excel at if they just try it out a little bit and they start feeling themselves. This is really fucking well done, and it really starts out with the instrumental. Malt Disney absolutely killed it. They definitely gave Cole a really good foundation to be able to craft this out, man. From structure to mix to sound selection, everything was A1 with this instrumental. Huge fan. I'm definitely here for this. This is fucking awesome. This is definitely a direction I definitely wouldn't have expected. You know, I'm definitely a little caught off guard in a good way. I'm like, oh shit, we got some fucking alternative Cole here. This is crazy. It's not like super alternative. It's like the perfect kind of mix, you know. And you know, moving on to vocals, it kind of, you know, I can't be too surprised because that's one of the things that I've like always said about Cole was, um, you know, Cole was really such a genre blender. Truly, like the amount of like flows and like genre blending that we've seen in like early Cole tracks and like later Cole tracks has always been on point. So this is just another really, really great example of it, to be honest with you. Except Cole just kind of took like this whole other direction and it really fucking worked out. So as far as vocals go, the mix is great. I love Cole's voice on this. Definitely a style I want to see a lot more of. You know, as an artist, you kind of just do what you're feeling at the time, right? Like some people don't want to lock themselves into too many boxes or barriers, things like that. And if people want to make certain sounds, they just want to make certain sounds. But this is definitely one of those sounds where I'd like to see Cole expand on it, you know what I mean? And just keep doing, you know, I guess just raising the bar. And I feel like Cole is an artist that continuously raises the bar. Every submission, you know, from their first visual to, you know, all types of styles, I feel like Cole's really just having fun with this shit. And this is another example of Cole just taking their writing and style to a whole different level. And once again, pushing the ceiling, which you love to see. So this is like really, really fucking cool to me. Big fan of this. Big fucking fan of this. A Shining Star easily is the hook. like the writing, yes, but more so the performance. It's performed with such passion and emotion, and I really feel like Cole really nailed that. Sometimes tracks like this don't come out as well if you're not really like emotionally into it, and especially like emotionally into the recording, and the performance of it. So I feel like Cole definitely did a good job with like resonating with this kind of style. Um, well done, well fucking done. So let's talk about the theme here. Aesthetically excellent, like I said. Classic underground style. I really love the idea of fire with different color palettes. Always looks sick in my opinion. Any kind of color like this, green fire, red fire, pink fire, purple fire, doesn't matter. I think it looks really dope. But I love like the little things about it, like the filter and just the whole like grimy sort of analog, a little bit aesthetic of it. So really, really one of my favorites. Wishing Well. Now, you know, there's a couple different directions Cole took the phrase wishing well. And, this song has a little bit of everything for everybody. You kind of get like a little bit of the emotional side, you kind of get like the whole fuck you side, you kind of get the whole like, like fuck it side. There's a lot of good writing in here, and you pick up really quickly why this is called Wishing Well. So I feel like Cole did a really good job telling a story, but also like establishing a vibe for one track, right? Like, um, artists don't necessarily need to establish themselves by like one sound or vibe or genre. I feel like they can do that per song, and Cole definitely like established a really good kind of energy on this track, if you will. So well fucking done. Huge shout out to Cole. Thank you for submission, homie. Much, much motherfucking love. Make sure you follow Cole Gerard on SoundCloud. 4 away from 40 followers. That's a cool ass milestone for real. And make sure you follow Cole Gerard on Twitter. 2 followers away from 30, man. 2 followers. Go bump that shit, man. Two? Drake. But per usual, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We upload 2 times a week. We are approaching 70 motherfucking subscribers. Huge shout out to anybody that already has. We upload 2 times a week. Exclusive segments, full podcast episodes, a whole lot of good stuff's going on there, man. Go show the channel and these artists some love. Thank you, dog. You're very welcome, Cole. You're very welcome. Thank you for the submission, homie. Let's fucking get it. Keep it up. Let's go, baby. 2 artists up next. And one is an artist that I always love reacting to, and I always love checking out their tracks. No Name Dread. And Dread truly, there's so many really dope things you could say about Dread, but I think one thing that you can always take away is Dread's music is just something you need to experience as far as Dread being an artist, right? It's just one of those things where you're like, wow, constantly impressive. Constantly. So, this week, Dread submitted a track, but it's not just Dread. It's No Name Posse. And if you don't know, I think you just need to be reading our interview on allmusicmondays.com for Dread's detailed story on No Name Posse and what this collective really meant to Dread. So if you haven't seen that and you want to know more about No Name Dread and really an artist that lets their music speak for themselves, go check out our interview on the Music Mondays homepage. A No Name Posse not for fun. Who knows what we're about to get here, but I'm excited. Let's get into it.
strapping, I told all my niggas to run. Jumping all this ain't for fun. Slay the beat until it's done. A homie rolling through hell. I split the day. Roll the turtle blunt. I'm chiefing loud till the sun is up. They passing out trying to smoke like this. I spit it raw. New niggas cut like 916 where I'm coming from. I smoke the shit just like honey buns. I blood it down until it's done. Homies gon' roll another one. Heavy pouring, I'm turning up.
Sick shit coming out the mental when I spit on instrumentals. Your bars they rental, need some work like some dental. This life a riddle, I'm just figuring out, finding out. The hardest thing, I'm always filled up with doubt. What I'm doing, where I'm going, man, I'm never knowing. Got demons running by my side, I hope they never showing. We just putting in the work, I know one day we blowing. The money will flowing, there's no chance of slowing. The skill is only growing. I'ma look at me out of the dust. Ain't give a fuck, I'm ready to bust. So did you rust, but I'm ready to cut. Bars in the ticket, I'm ready to bust. Shots fired down. The kill squad is time you get line. Get that you up falling from the sky. And I'm nothing I see from the signs. Climbing through the grass and the snakes. I'm visioning how they moving steps ahead. Can see in your face. Thought I was fucking stupid. Clueless, doofus, maneuver, ruthless. Y'all act like fucking through this. I will rip your heart out. Not Cupid, just so I don't have to prove it.
Jeez.
Better than most veterans, most evident. No, y'all seen bad. I'm sipping lemonade. And it's life to me. Lemons with the game. I'm never switching names. I'll stay the same until I'm in the grave. Standing tall, never cave. Lyric sharp, razor blade. Talking shit, I'll break your face. I'll put you in your fucking place. I promise you that. I'll never cap in my raps. I'm spiked. Courtside, they gon' hold me back. I show up, hoodie on and stuff J's and knock you out your bum ways. I'm making on the front page. My mental state on rampage like Jackson, homie. Got the game on lock and ain't no tapping, homie. If you tap along me, be your one and only time.
Damn. Okay. Alright. Yeah, nah, for real, Cole. For real. This is some heavyweight shit right here. So before we break this down, I want to say that if No Name Posse was still around, a lot of the people making the same sound would be in some trouble. That's what I do know. They'd be in some trouble. Cause man, holy shit, No Name Posse was a fucking sound to be fucked with, man. Holy shit. So you guys know the drill. Let's break this down. Let's get into it. We're gonna talk about three things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals. We'll talk about the overall theme of Not For Fun. So right off rip, Fiore did a fucking excellent job on this. Mix-wise, nothing's clashing too overbearing, even with 3 different artists on here. Everything's great mix-wise. But one shining star for me is the melody. The melody has this like boom bap, like almost gangsta kind of feel to it. But the drums keep it modern, and the drums keep it really like sort of subtle and like very up to date. So it's a very awesome mix of sounds here. So I feel like Fiore really snapped on this instrumental. And of course it was a great choice for like a cypher style, which No Name Posse really did well. You know, every time we listen to a No Name Posse track, the instrumentals really, you know, build so well around like that cypher kind of style. So I like the instrumental choice here a lot. Fiore did a great job. Now, let's talk about vocals here. Everybody's mix, I'll just say right off rip, is excellent. Nobody sounds off. Nothing's really nothing to really even note about this mix. It's very solid, very tight. Each verse really was very consistent. Now, one thing I will say is each verse definitely brought something new to the table. Each verse was very unique in its own right, but kept that like cypher feel with this like sort of classic background, you know what I mean? This was such like a almost like it's just a melody that you like don't forget, you know what I mean? It has that very like freestyle kind of sound to it, and is almost somewhat classical. So I feel like each verse really stood out because they were able to craft themselves so nicely. And man, Dread just fucking killed it. Like, just fucking killed it, man. Like, especially, you know, how this song was constructed. I feel like with the instrumental combined with the verses, this is one of those tracks that really builds up to be like a roller coaster, right? You know, you're building up, each verse is fucking fire, and then you get to the top and you're like, oh shit. And then by the time the outro hits, you're already fucking done with the ride, and you're like, damn. And for 2 minutes and 5 seconds, once again, I feel like No Name Posse is really slept on for like having such short tracks packed with so much substance. You know, as far as lyrics go and things like that, I really feel like it's packed with a lot of substance for such a short track. So that's a really beneficial thing when it comes to new listeners and things like that, right? You can just give them a little sample size and then, you know, say a whole project of this shit would fucking hit. So I really like Not For Fun. It really really brings life back into that cypher style, and it's not even like it's old. It's only 2 years old, so this is awesome to go back and react to. I like this a lot. Now, let's talk about the theme of Not For Fun here. Aesthetically, a rememberable cover. You know what I mean? If you didn't want to go all out on crazy cover art, this is definitely a cover that is super, super rememberable in its own right. Very rememberable, and something you can associate No Name Posse with. 100%. So aesthetically, great. Now, Not For Fun is definitely more in like the like cypher style, but I feel like everybody on this track really you could take super serious. You know what I mean? And the title Not For Fun like kind of salutes that too, right? Because each verse is like super super hard and like not for fun, kind of like, you know, maybe me as like a first time listener to this track, because like obviously we've listened to No Name Posse on the show before, but as a first time listener to this track, I felt like you could see that it was like a very like serious kind of almost freestyle cypher kind of vibe, but really kept up with the quality and the quality of writing and the style of all three of them. So this is a really, really good cover example track. If somebody was like, yo, I never heard of No Name Posse, you need to peep this shit then. That's all I gotta say about that. Huge shout out to No Name Dread. Thank you for the submission, Nomi. Much, much motherfucking love. Make sure you follow No Name Posse and No Name Dread on SoundCloud. Make sure you follow No Name Dread 1 on Twitter. Dread is very close to 120, 10 away. Go show Dread some love, man. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description for the YouTube re-upload. And make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We upload 2 times a week. Exclusive segments, full podcast episodes, exclusive tracks, whole lot of stuff going on the channel, man. Make sure you go show us some love, and make sure you go show these artists some love. And if you already have, thank you. Let's get it, Dread. That was a trip, man. That was a trip. So, I believe this is a first time submitting artist, which is always super super dope to react to. We got the homie Dennis, and no caption. We just got the link, chat. We just got the link. So let's get into this. We got a little okay. What we got here? All right. So it looks like we just got our choice. You know, let's check this out. So Good Times is the most recent, so we're definitely gonna check this out. And there's 2 different mixes of it, which is really dope. We're definitely just gonna listen to the original, and let's check this out. Denise Dennis, Good Times, first time submitting artist. Let's go. Or not. There we go. Okay.
It's Friday night, my funds are right. I'm on the job, time to unwind and get this weekend started. Call up the crew, they know the moves. Meet at the spot, I have the ball.
Wow.
And the next day we'll do it again.
Ah. Uh-huh. Damn.
Thank God it's Friday. Alright, one night, tonight, good times. So glad it's Friday. Alright, one night, tonight, good times. Ooh, this is a good time to live your best life. Thank God it's Friday. Alright, one night, tonight, good times. So glad it's Friday. Alright, one night, tonight, good times. This is a good time to live your best life. Make the most of time. One night, all night, tonight, good times.
What the fuck, bro? What? Alright. This is one of the craziest first time submitting artists that we've had in a while too. And it looks like they have quite the library as well. This is not like their first rodeo, which is really cool to see, you know what I mean? Because this is definitely a veteran sounding artist. Dennis has definitely got a seasoned kind of sound and voice. So let's break this down, man. I'm excited. So we're gonna talk about three things. We're gonna talk about the vocals. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about the overall theme of good times. So instrumentally, this is fucking great. It has this like pop dance vibe going on, and it sounds like very like independently made, but like has this like massive potential to gain like a lot of love and a lot of traction. So Good Times has that like double dynamic going on for it, where as if like nobody's eye really catches this. This is one of those tracks where it's gonna be a gem to have in your library because it's so well done. Instrumentally, it's excellent, fucking excellent. This is like it's just got this real kind of upbeat, happy vibe going on, but definitely more modernized as far as like genre and dance vibes go for sure. So well done. The instrumental is great. Whoever produced this did a really, really, really good job. Now, let's talk about vocals here. The vocals are like extremely, extremely impressive. When I heard the vocals kick on, I kind of had a feeling that this was not Dennis's first um real go, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of quality content here. You know, this is a decent library, especially as far as an album goes, couple of singles, more singles, good times with a couple of remixes. So, yeah. This is definitely a voice that I could immediately tell was very seasoned, and I like that. That's really really fucking fire. Especially for a first time submitting artist, this is like some really like impressive work to react to. But as far as good times go, the hook absolutely is the shining star for me. This hook is bar none one of the most like simple yet effective hooks when it comes to like writing some of this dance style music that has like this alternative element to it. Because there's a little bit of pop dance vibes going on, but it's got this like super dance core to it. So I really, really, really love this hook. Like absolutely. Simple enough to like be super catchy, but like very creative enough to like really like make like a long lasting impact on a first time listener or somebody that is a regular supporter for sure. So huge fan of the hook, really huge fan of the writing and mostly the performance and the recording. Um the mix is fucking out of this world as well. Nothing's clashing too overbearing. Like both mixes as far as the instrumental goes and the vocals. Everything was really, really solid around this track. Very crisp, without a doubt. It definitely has like a nice bow on it, as far as vocals go, for sure. But like I said, Shining Star for me, is without a doubt the hook. I feel like Dennis really did an excellent job as far as writing goes and execution, for sure. Let's talk about the theme of Good Times. Aesthetically, it has like this classic route to it. The color palette's relatively simple, but I think the thing that you can take most from this is like the classic aesthetic. You know, the classic cars, Chuck Taylors. Even like the font has like this 50s, 60s, even 70s kind of classical vibe going on to it. So I like that a lot, you know, because it's more of like a modern kind of dance track, and yet it's like completely solo. So that's what's really really fucking dope about this. But aesthetically, really right on point with the substance of this track. Now the theme of Good Times, I mean, bro, you know, this is one of those tracks where, you know, it's more about the groove and the movement because Good Times is very self-explanatory. You know what I mean? It's about looking forward to the good times, you know, being grateful for the good times, being in the good times. Such a great topic to expand on in forms of like alternative sounds, you know. You don't necessarily have to make like a super happy upbeat track. This is more like a get up, dance, and move and like look towards the future kind of track. And Good Times definitely nailed that, especially for me as a first time listener. So huge, huge shout out to Dennis. Thank you for the submission, homie. Much, much motherfucking love. And of course, make sure you follow Dennis on Spotify. And make sure you follow Dennis on motherfucking Twitter too, man. 2 away from 900. That's a really, really dope milestone. Really, really dope milestone. Go show him some love, man. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you have not already. We're approaching 70 subscribers. So huge shout out to anybody that already has. We upload 2 times a week, exclusive Music Mondays segments, podcast episodes, exclusive tracks, a whole lot of stuff going on the channel, man. Go show us some love and make sure you go show these artists some love as well. Let's get it, chat. And that about does it for episode 85. The very first episode post Cyberfest for Music Mondays. Ladies and gentlemen, let's fucking go. That was great. That was quite the episode, man. You know, we talked a lot about some important shit. We talked a lot about you know, shit that really matters, and we discussed Cyberfest. This was a good stream, man. This is a really, really good stream back, and everything is going extremely well with Music Mondays, man. So I'm excited for the future, and I hope you guys are too. You know, make sure you follow Music Mondays on Twitter, Instagram, and wherever else you use social media, because we're there too, for the latest updates on what we have going on around the show, what we have going on around the community. The year isn't over yet. We're going to close out this year with a lot of banger shit, man. With a lot of banger shit. So, we'll keep you posted. Submissions open tomorrow afternoon. So if you're interested in getting any of your tracks on the Music Mondays podcast, if you want to get your music, art, videos, edits, merchandise, fashion reacted to and reviewed on the Music Mondays podcast, make sure you follow us on Twitter and keep your eyes peeled for the submission tweet tomorrow. Awesome. What a good show. What a good fucking show. Per usual, huge shout out to everybody that did submit and come through and show love tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, lots of stuff coming. Lots of updates coming. Expect Workshop Wednesday, Feature Friday. Every single one of our playlists will be updated. We have a whole slew of new stuff. So, like I said, huge shout out to anybody that tuned in, showed love. Anybody that submitted tonight, thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll see you guys next week for episode 86 of the Music Mondays podcast. Like I said, submissions open tomorrow. So, be safe. Take care. It's been your boy, Zom Slays. I'll see you guys next week.